Just hearing the word drugs probably conjures thoughts of medications or drugs like weed in your head, but what if I told you there are drugs much, much more dangerous than the drugs you hear about on TV shows? More dangerous even than meth and cocaine. Well, here are those dangerous drugs. Mind you, this video is to be as informative as possible, and I hope that this video can be taken seriously, as I do believe drug addiction is a serious problem that needs to be addressed. So, let us begin, and welcome to Frightening 5. What did you do, little pig? Number 1. Crocodile. Crocodile is a drug that became known in Russia around the early 2000s. It started spreading to Siberia, and according to 2013 reports, it is now popping up in the United States. If addicted to crocodile, your life is expected to only last for another year or two. The drug has become widespread in Russia, over 63 million hits being confiscated by the Russian government. The reason for its name is because when injected a certain amount of times, skin will peel and become almost scaly, almost like that of a crocodile. Over time of addiction and usage, the skin and muscle rot away, sometimes leaving only bare bone. This drug is thought to be one of the hardest addictions to be freed of, as withdrawals are far worse than those of heroin withdrawals, which, if you don't know, are incredibly painful to a person who has been addicted to heroin. This is certainly one of the scariest drugs I could find, and one that I would never suggest trying, as it's just too risky to ever try, as, like I said, your skin will peel away and almost rot, and you can become very easily addicted to this drug. Number 2, bath salts. You've probably heard of this one from the case where a man was so high off bath salts that he ate another man's face off and had been shot multiple times by officers, yet still wouldn't go down. Symptoms of this drug include hallucination, confusion, chest pains, paranoia, and even suicidal thoughts. Add all those symptoms together and you make a very dangerous combination, not only to the user, but people around them. One of the most tragic cases comes from Washington, where a mother and father were in a chase after they had been addicted and using bath salts. As they were in a chase with police officers and caught, the father shot his wife, his children, and himself. The drug was originally used in packages meant for soothing baths to relax muscles, but humans have a funny way of finding odd things and is now illegal in the United States. This drug causes many people to become aggressive when high, and is frankly another scary drug that I found. Number 3, bromodragonfly. Bromodragonfly is a strand of ecstasy that causes things like hallucinations and even violent vomiting. It has been banned in many countries for its strong hallucinogenic effects. It can cause one to also become very aggressive and, as I said before, violent vomiting. It is highly toxic to humans when large doses are injected. I couldn't find much on this drug, but once again, this is one I would strongly advise you never touch or go near. From what I have read and from what I can tell, it really is not worth it, as I said before, to have a simple high. Number 4, purple drink or purple drink. Anyone really into hip-hop may have heard of this one, as it is quite popular in the industry. The drug is a mix of soda, like Mountain Dew, and cough syrup, and occasionally a few Jolly Ranchers or hard candies are thrown in to add flavor. It has the effects of almost being in an alcoholic drunk state, with effects like slurred speech, loss of balance, loss of coordination, but mixing this drug with other drugs and or alcohol will lead to death. The drug usage can be traced all the way back to Houston, Texas in the early 1960s, and the users coming back up as early as the early 2010s. The effects of this drink, unlike alcoholic drunkenness, will last up to 6 hours, whereas regular alcoholic drunkenness will last up to maybe an hour. And of course, you can overdose on this due to the opiate in the cough syrup. Once again, a drug I would never advise that you use. Number 5, PCP. Similar to bath salts, this drug can cause very aggressive behavior to anyone nearby. The scariest part of this drug that I could find is that the person who is high off the drug feels no pain. Some stories go as far as people cutting off their own limbs because they feel invulnerable. The person who is high on this drug wishes to harm those around them and does not care about their own safety, lacking rational judgment. This is probably the most dangerous drug on this list that I could find. Again, to me, it is very scary because basically one dosage of this drug causes you to do very, very crazy things, as I said before, like cutting off your own limbs. Those who wish to retain you from harming not only yourself but others will have a difficult time, as, like I said, you wish to harm other people and you're in an aggressive behavior. And one of the scariest parts is if one tries to get clean of this drug, they most likely will isolate themselves and go into a psychotic state of mind and will be depressed. This, of course, causing possible suicidal thoughts and self-harm. I hope this video showed you some of the scariest and most deadly drugs that I could find. If any of you suffer any addictions, please visit a professional or contact the National Hotline for Drug Abuse, 1-800-662-4357. This will also be displayed on the screen if you can correctly hear me. You can also call Narconon, which is where one of the sites that I visited to find info on these drugs, and the site is really helpful. Once you visit it, there's immediately a chat log that pops up asking if you have if you suffer any addictions or if any of your family members suffer any addictions. So I would really recommend visiting the site if you want to learn more about signs of addictions of certain drugs, and their number is 1-888-407-3542, and again, that will also be on the screen. Drug abuse is a very serious matter, and I believe it needs to be addressed. I am sending lots of prayers and love to those who have family who suffer addictions and those who have suffered addictions themselves. You are in my thoughts, and you are in my prayers. Of course, if you liked this video or found it helpful, please give it a like. It would make my day. If you have any info you'd like to add about any of these drugs or any other drugs, please leave a comment. The most informative will be pinned. If you like content like this, please subscribe because I upload Frightening Fives every Monday, faith reviews or character voices every Wednesday, and narrations or another faith reviews every Friday. Again, I am sending lots of love to those who have serious addictions and those who need help. You will always be in my prayers. As always, stay freaky, my little freaks. I'll see you later.